This is Everyday Situations, CINCILINGUA live lessons. We're going to talk about a visit to school. If you have any questions, you can move your mouse and look for the icon that says chat, and it will open a white rectangle. And at the bottom of the white rectangle is an area where you can type your question, and I will be answering questions at the end of today's lesson. My name is Kathy, and I am here helping. Joe was not able to teach the lesson today. So if you're here live with us, I'm excited to meet you. And Joe will be back at the next lesson. And if we run out of time to answer questions today, I will make sure that Joe knows what the questions are, and he will answer them at the beginning of the next class. So today we are talking about a visit to school. There are several kinds of school in the United States. Young children, age 3 years old or 4 years old, go to preschool. When a child is 5 years old, they can go to kindergarten. And kindergartens are part of elementary school. After kindergarten, there is first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade, sometimes sixth grade in elementary school. So children that are from 5 until maybe 11 or 12 go to elementary school. Sometimes the next school is called middle school. Sometimes it is called junior high. That's for students age 11 or 12 up until age 14. And then high school are for students age 14 to 18. Here's the vocabulary that we're going to talk about today. To enroll or to register. These are two ways, enroll and register, to talk about signing up. Sometimes this sign up or this enrollment is done on paper, and sometimes it is done online on a computer. Fill out an application. Filling out an application means to answer questions about your child, to enroll him or her in school. A birth certificate or a passport. You will need to show one of these because this proves the name of your child and their date of birth. Proof of address or proof of residency. They will ask you to bring in a copy of the lease agreement. This is the contract that you sign when you rent a house or an apartment. Or maybe they will ask for an electric bill. This shows your address on an official document. The school will probably also ask for a list of vaccinations. And these vaccinations, sometimes we call these shots in the United States. That is when your child goes to the doctor and gets some medication, a shot, a vaccination to keep them healthy. Here are some other school vocabulary words. The secretary is the person who works in the office who will greet you when you arrive at school. The secretary is the person who will talk on the phone to you. The principal is the leader of the school. The principal is in charge, is the decision maker for the school. Your child will have at least one teacher. Older children sometimes go from classroom to classroom and have several teachers. School supplies are things like pencils, paper, glue, scissors, things like this that your child will use at school to do their work. School supplies. Uniforms. You see, these children are wearing uniforms. They have a special tie. The girls are wearing a skirt. The boy has shorts. Everyone is wearing the same clothes. Uniforms are required at some schools, but not at all schools. Some schools allow children to choose their own clothing. The word grade has two meanings. Grade. One kind of grade is like on this paper. It is the score on an assignment. This child worked on the assignment. They got a B on their assignment. Let's look over here in the red to see about grade, meaning a score on an assignment. If you get an A on your test, on your paper, on your assignment, you get an A, it means that you did excellent work. If you get a B, it means you did very good work. If you did a C, that means you did average. You did okay. If you did a D, get a D on your work. D is not good. And an F, if you have an F on your paper, an F means failing. An F means this is not good at all, and maybe you need to do again. Okay. The other meaning of grade here is the level of school that your child attends. So is your child in first grade? Children who are about 6 years old will be in first grade. They go to first grade and then second grade and then third grade. By the time they are in sixth grade, most children are 11, maybe 12. If they are in ninth grade, it means they are around age 14. 12th grade would be age 18. So a grade can either be the note, the results that you get on your paper, or grade can mean which level, which year of school is your child. First grade, second grade, third grade, how old is your child? So here is a conversation using some of the vocabulary that we went over. Conversation number 1, the secretary says, "Welcome to Midway School. How may I help you?" And the parent, that would be you if you are bringing your child, the parent says, "I would like to enroll my child for school." Or maybe, "I would like to register my child for school." You can choose either enroll or register. Both words mean the same. I would like to enroll my child for school. I would like to register my child for school. Then the secretary says, "Please fill out this application. You will need to show a birth certificate or passport, proof of address, and a list of vaccinations." The parent asks, "Do students at this school wear uniforms?" The secretary says, "Yes." "What grade will your child attend?" The parent says, "I am not sure. My son is 6 years old." And the secretary answers, 6-year-olds are usually in first grade. Here is a list of school supplies your child will need. Thank you." So I hope that you understand this conversation. The secretary is trying to help the parent to enroll or register the child for school. They talk about what the children will wear, if they will wear uniforms or not wear uniforms. And then they talk about which grade is the child. The child is 6 years old. And so because they are 6 years old, they will be in first grade. Because in America, first you go to preschool, age 3 and 4, then you go to kindergarten, age 5, then when you are 6, you go to first grade. Here's a second conversation. The secretary again says, "Welcome to Midway School. How may I help you?" The parent says, "I would like to make an appointment to speak to my child's teacher." I'm going to stop here because we're going to pretend that the secretary and the parents make an appointment, and then this is where the appointment is starting. Now we are talking to the teacher. But the parent asks, "I want to make an appointment. I want to choose a time to speak to my child's teacher." And this is necessary to do. You cannot just go to school and walk into your child's classroom and begin to talk to the teacher. The teacher is busy. The teacher is teaching a class. The teacher cannot just talk to parents all day. You must choose a time that the teacher is available, maybe when the students are at lunch, maybe before school, maybe after school, the teacher is available. You will make an appointment and come to speak to the teacher at that time. Now we are talking to the teacher. The teacher says, "I am happy that you could come to school. How may I help you?" The parent says, "I am concerned about my child's grades. He has B's, the letter B. He has B's on his report card. The report card is what you will have for all of your grades when it is after maybe 9 weeks of school, 10 weeks of school. They will send home a paper saying, in math class, the child has a B. In science class, the child has an A. In music class, the child has an A or a B. This person says their child has B's on their report card. The teacher says B's are actually a good grade. Your son could get A's if he finishes all of his homework. So this child is doing well at school. He's getting B's. B's are pretty good, but he can do better if he does his homework. And homework is an assignment that you will do not in the school building, but at home. The parent asks, can you explain the homework to me so that I can help my son at home? And that is something you can do. You can ask the teacher to help you understand so you can help your child at home. Okay, we have a third conversation, and then we will talk about a little bit more vocabulary. This is about another appointment. This time, instead of talking to the teacher, they want to make an appointment to speak to the principal. Oh, before we start, I want to show you this picture here. I don't know if you can see in this picture, the boy has one shoe, and then this foot has no shoe. The shoe is here. This boy has taken the shoe away from this other boy, and he will not give it back. This boy is not happy because someone has taken his shoe away. Okay, so here we go. The secretary says, welcome to Midway School. How may I help you? The parent said, I would like to make an appointment to speak to the principal. And then a little bit later, when the principal is available, then the principal says, I am happy that you could come to school. How may I help you? The parent says, I am concerned about my child. He seems unhappy at school. He told me that another child was bullying him. Bullying him. The principal says, I am sorry to hear that. Please tell me more about it so that I can help you. Bully, the word bully, is when someone is not kind, when someone is mean, and it is not just one time. Bullying happens many, many times. So if this boy is taking away the shoe and he is being unkind to this other child, if he does something like this many, many days, then we call this bullying. Bullying. And he is making this child unhappy. And so this child's parents came to speak to the principal. The principal is the person that will help this child to know this is not okay. This is not okay at school to bully someone. Okay, so in U.S. schools, students usually raise their hand to ask a question or to answer a question. So here the teacher is asking, who knows the answer about this? And the boy has his hand up because he wants to answer the teacher's question. Sometimes a child also will need to ask the teacher something. And so here in blue, it says, here are some questions that you can help your child practice so that he or she knows what to say at school. Something that is very important for children to know how to ask, they need to be able to say either the word bathroom or restroom in English. Bathroom or restroom. Bathroom and restroom are both ways to talk about the toilets. So this is one of the first words your child should learn to come to school is bathroom or restroom if they need to use a toilet. It is okay to say, can I? But may I is more polite. So the child could say, can I go to the bathroom? But may I is the most polite way to ask. So may I go to the restroom? May I go to the bathroom? This is the best way. Or can I go to the bathroom? If your child is just learning English and only knows a few words, if they cannot remember can I go or may I go, Make sure they know the word bathroom or restroom and that they can say bathroom or restroom to their teacher. These are two important words.
Miss Wellness,
my pencil is broken.
The main office. Miss Wellness,
my pencil is broken. May I sharpen my pencil? My pencil is broken. May I sharpen my pencil? I feel thirsty. May I drink some water? I feel thirsty. May I drink some water? I feel hungry. What time will we eat lunch? If your child is thirsty or hungry at school, then they can ask these questions to their teacher, and they can have their teacher help them know about getting something to drink or something to eat. Okay, they can tell them what time is lunch, and they can let them go to get some water. I feel sick. If your child is feeling sick at school, they might ask, may I get a tissue? May I get a tissue? Or they might ask, may I go to the clinic to see the nurse? May I go to the clinic to see the nurse? The secretary is the person that will help you to make an appointment. The principal is the person that is the leader of the school. The teacher is the person who will see your child every day and help them to learn all of the things that they need to know. School supplies. These are the things like pencils, crayons, scissors, glue, paper, all of the things that your child will use to do assignments at school. Uniforms. Uniforms are a special shirt or a special pants that your child might wear to school. Some schools will require uniforms. Other schools do not require uniforms. The grade, your grade. Your grade can mean two things. A grade on a piece of paper like this, if you did some math work, your teacher might put A or B or C or D. There is no E. No E. A, B, C, D, or maybe F. Okay. A means excellent. B is very good. C would mean average. D is not good. And F is failing. So you do not want to get an F on your work. Okay. Grade can also mean the level of school that your child attends. The level of school that your child attends. For example, I put here in blue, first grade. If your child is about 6 years old, your child might be in first grade. Sixth grade, children around 11 years old might be in sixth grade. Ninth grade would be age 14. 12th grade would maybe be age 18. So here was some other vocabulary that we went over. Enroll or register. To enroll or register means to sign some papers, to fill out an application. So you will answer the questions to sign your child's name on the school list so that they can attend school. Enroll or register. This means to fill out an application. A passport or a birth certificate. You will need to show either a passport or a birth certificate to show your child's name. Proof of address. Sometimes they will call this proof of residency. These two are the same. The same. Often, if you sign a lease, a contract, so that you can live in an apartment or a home, you can bring this lease contract with you and show them the contract. And that will show that it's a legal document that shows what your address is. If you don't have this, then you can also bring a bill that shows how much money you are paying to the electric company to have heat and electricity at your apartment. And so you can bring either the lease agreement or you can bring something from the electric company to prove your address or to prove your residency. Raise your hand. The teacher might tell the children, if you know the answer, raise your hand. Put your hand up so that I know that you would like to talk. So children will raise their hand so that they can answer the teacher, or if the teacher needs to say, or if the child needs to say something about going to the bathroom or something, then the child can raise their hand to get the attention of the teacher, and that lets the teacher know, I would like to talk. 2 very important words. Your child should either know how to say bathroom or restroom when they come to school, so that they can tell their teacher, please, I need to go to the bathroom. May I go to the bathroom? May I go to the restroom? Pencil sharpener. Pencil sharpener. This is what you use when your pencil is broken and you need to write. You can use a pencil sharpener. A bully is a person like this boy here. A bully is someone who is unkind, who is mean many, many times. If someone is unkind only one day, we do not say this is a bully. A bully many, many days is unkind and mean. And when someone is doing this, we say they are bullying. So this boy is bullying the other boy. He's taken his shoe away. He will not give it back. He is bullying him. Bullying him. Okay, I want to go back now real quickly. We have a little bit of time before the end of class. I want to go back to these conversations. I would like this time, without interrupting myself, to read the conversation so that you can hear the whole thing and see if you can understand without me stopping to give any instructions. Okay, you can read along, and I will read the whole conversation. And remember, in conversation 2 and in conversation 3, the parent begins to talk to the secretary, and then we pretend that it is a future time and that the parent is talking to the teacher or talking to the principal. Okay, so here's conversation number 1. The secretary says, welcome to Midway School. How may I help you? The parent says, I would like to enroll my child for school, or I would like to register my child for school. The secretary says, please fill out this application. You will need to show a birth certificate or passport, proof of address, and a list of vaccinations. The parent asks, do students at this school wear uniforms? And the secretary answers, yes. What grade will your child attend? The parent says, I am not sure. My son is 6 years old. The secretary says, oh, 6-year-olds are usually in first grade. Here is a list of school supplies that your child will need. Thank you. Conversation number 2. The secretary, welcome to Midway School. How may I help you? Welcome to Midway School. How may I help you? The parent says, I would like to make an appointment to speak to my child's teacher. Later, when they are speaking to the teacher says, I am happy that you could come to school. How may I help you? The parent answers, I am concerned about my child's grades. He has B's on his report card. The teacher says, B's are actually a good grade. Your son could get A's if he finishes all of his homework. The parent asks, can you explain the homework to me so that I can help my son at home? And here is our last conversation. The secretary says, welcome to Midway School. How may I help you? The parent, I would like to make an appointment to speak to the principal. And then a little later, when the parent is meeting with the principal says, I am happy that you could come to school. How may I help you? The parent says, I am concerned about my child. He seems unhappy at school. He told me that another child was bullying him. The principal, I am sorry to hear that. Please tell me more about it so that I can help you. Okay. So I hope that if you ever get a chance to take your children to school and to speak to the teacher, to speak to the principal, I hope that you will not have to talk about bullying. I hope that the children at your child's school will be very kind and will be helpful, and that they will not be mean and unkind and do things like take the child's shoe away. Um, but in US schools, if something like this happens, often then they will have this child, they will speak to the parents of the child that is being unkind, and have them work with the child to make better choices. And if that does not improve, then they will have the child sit away from their class for a while, or maybe stay after school. If things continue, maybe the child will need to stay home from school for a few days. But schools really do like to help parents. They like to help them to keep their children safe. They like them to help their children learn. So I hope that this vocabulary will be helpful to you if you ever need to enroll or register your child at school, if you need to fill out an application, excuse me, if you need to make an appointment to speak to a teacher, if you need to make an appointment to speak to the principal. And as I said, I hope that if you do make an appointment to speak to the principal, it will be for a happy reason, because your child is happy at school. Let me move the slides forward here. Okay, so I want to thank you so much for joining me for Everyday Situations with CINCILINGUA live lessons, where we talked about a visit to school. Let me look quickly to see if there's any questions. Oh, someone was asking me about the word college. The word college can be confusing because in some languages, college is for students that are maybe 12 or 13 years old. In the United States, college is the same thing as university. For us, you do preschool, elementary school, middle or junior high. Those are both names. High school is the last school that everybody goes to. Then after that, people can pay to go to university or to college. But for us, college means the same level. Something that is someone that is 18, 19, 20 years old will be going to college or to university. So don't get those confused. If college in your language means something for younger children, in the United States, it means university. Thank you so much for that question. And Joe will be back for the next lesson. And I hope that you can join us then for the Everyday Situations with CINCILINGUA live lessons. Thanks so much for tuning in here.